Charming city centers filled with history and art. Romantic chateaux surrounded by rolling hills and vineyards. Windswept beaches and coastline. Medieval villages seemingly out of a fairy tale. Unrivaled culinary experiences at every turn. Welcome to Travelbound's Bordeaux and South of France experience. Travelbound is second to none in the exploration of France's most sought-after wine and culinary experiences. The south of France is filled with charm on many levels, whether it's shopping, getting lost in a centuries-old village, admiring soaring cathedrals, or fortified castles. Our journey today will begin in Bordeaux. Bordeaux is the quintessential romantic city. It was the inspiration behind the planning and look of Paris in the late 18th century. Today, the high-speed train takes about 3 hours to reach Bordeaux from Paris. And indeed, Bordeaux is a miniature Paris in waiting. If your clients love Paris, Bordeaux will be an exciting new find for them, and Travelbound will be the perfect guide to this spectacular region of France. Literally the wine capital of the world, it goes without saying your clients who are wine aficionados, enthusiasts, or just love to drink it, probably have Bordeaux on their bucket list. Are they foodies? There are over 1,000 restaurants specializing in the region's cuisine, and towards blowing your clients' gastronomical experience out of the park. If your clients are shoppers, Bordeaux is perfect. A wealthy city center at the heart of a $14.5 billion wine industry. The center of Bordeaux is a shopper's dream, the longest shopping avenue in Europe, Rue Sainte-Catherine. And wait, it gets better. Over a square mile is closed off to car traffic. Modern and easy-to-use streetcars will transport your clients to all the premier points in the center of the city and beyond. 18th century limestone architecture will surround your clients at every corner. Small alleyways and cozy streets will lead your clients to the highest names in retail, dining, and gourmet shops such as Le Comptoir Bordelais. This shop is like something out of a dream. Specialty foods, wines, spices, caviar, foie gras, escargot, confections, balsamic vinegars, preserves, smoked oysters, and cured meats, just to name a few. It is the quintessential shop to visit in the city. Throughout the city center are a plethora of both modern and traditional art. The Gironde fountain is spectacular, filled with mermen, horses, cherubs, and the feminine depiction of liberty. Dedicated to the memory of the Gironde, a portion of the French Legislative Assembly that in part inspired the Revolution. Another magnificent fountain and architectural center is Place de la Bourse, or Place Royale, with the statue of the Three Graces at its center. The architect here, Jean-Jacques Gabriel, created one of Bordeaux's most beautiful squares. The buildings are dedicated to commerce and are a perfect example of Bordeaux's architecture at the end of the 18th century. The square and surrounding buildings face the Garonne River and Promenade Walk, filled with flowers and more unique fountains. The square is also home to Gabriel, one of Bordeaux's most noted cafes and restaurants, with 3 separate levels increasing with price as you move up. At the bottom, a delightful cafe. By the 3rd level, your clients have reached a Michelin-starred restaurant. At a minimum, it takes several days, if not a whole week, to explore Bordeaux and its surrounding attractions. A magnificent place to stay at the heart of Bordeaux is the Grand Hotel de Bordeaux and Spa, just across from the impressive Grand Theatre built in 1731. There is a magnificent view of the theater, and indeed the entire city from the top of the hotel. The Grand Hotel Bordeaux is just blocks from the Garonne riverfront, and all of the aforementioned attractions, with streetcars passing by the front door every few minutes, making the rest of the city very accessible and returning to the hotel very easy. In fact, the Grand Hotel is referred to as being within the Golden Triangle of the city. Built over 200 years ago in 1776, every element of the hotel's history and design complement and pay homage to the elegance of the city at large. The rooms are richly decorated with 19th century furnishings, plum, mauve, and deep red colors. Each of the suites are unique with their own features and layout. The hotel's spa is world-renowned with a neoclassical pool on the top floor. On the roof, a hot tub, and plenty of deck space and chairs to relax and contemplate the skyline, as the lighting constantly changes throughout the day. The Orangerie is a sky-lit restaurant fashioned like a botanical observatory, with plush green mohair and bright surroundings. The hotel has over 6 notable venues for food and drink. The breakfast buffet will allow your clients to choose from a wide variety of French favorites, or more traditional choices from Europe and the US. Near the hotel are several impressive cathedrals. Saint-André de Bordeaux rests just next to the Art Museum of Bordeaux, minutes by streetcar from the hotel. There are a few quintessential experiences that come to mind when one mentions France. One of them is enjoying the best cheese in Europe. Perhaps one of the greatest fromage or cheese experiences in the world is a visit to Bordeaux's Bohémie restaurant. Just imagine your client sitting down and then have a dinner complemented by a choice of over 100 cheeses, or they may choose an entire dinner of just cheese and wine. From France's and Europe's greatest and most skilled artisan cheese producers, this is a unique experience. To many, it's heaven on earth. All the cheeses are found in what is coined the cave, and your clients may help themselves returning to their favorites. The entire experience is really beyond description. The range of flavors, textures, and aromas, from the subtle and hard to the soft and pungent, is truly something to behold and unforgettable.
You definitely have to come to Bordeaux, not only for Bordeaux, but because in the restaurant Bohémie, you will discover the most delicious things to eat and to drink, not only from Bordeaux, but from all France.
After a day or two in town, it'll be time to visit one or more of 54 wine-producing appellations within the vicinity of Bordeaux, where your clients will find over 7,300 chateaux producing over 10,000 wines. The village of Saint-Emilion is a sleepy medieval-style town first settled by Romans and made famous by a monk, who found refuge and meditation in a limestone cave, for which the town is centered around and derives its name. Today it's a center for wine, perfect for exploring, admiring the architecture, shopping, seeking out your favorite label, and best of all, gastronomy. Emilia Canta restaurant is perfectly situated across from the church built on Emilio's historic cave. Your clients may choose delectable selections such as goat's cheese and smoked salmon pastry, scallops with sautéed lentils, amongst a plethora of gourmet selections on their menu, not to mention the region's best white and red wines to choose from. Travelbound has a special relationship with the Château de Serac, a stunning vineyard and winery just minutes outside Saint-Emilion. The grounds and vineyards surrounding the chateau are seemingly out of a fairy tale. The noble chateau stands over its beautiful grounds like a sentinel observing the traditional production of wine. Paul Goldschmidt is on hand to give a tour of his beloved grounds, which he operates with his wife Annalie. Here we see the beehives that pollinate the vineyards. Inside the stunning chateau, clients are invited into the living room and treated to taste several vintages of red wine. Paul takes the time to explain the complex characteristics and his love of each one.
It's your first love. It's all fiery, it's all intense. 2010 is the ideal love. You know, everything is perfect in 2010. You have more alcohol, you have more tannins, you have more acidity. But yet
your clients may also partake in a wine blending class while at Chateau Serac. Guests learn about the qualities of available reds and are guided in producing their own blend, and receive a label with their own name, vintage, and blend percentages listed on it.
70% Merlot, 20% Malbec, and 10% Cabernet Franc.
Finally, your clients will have to cork their own bottle. Seemingly easier said than done.
I did it myself!
Not only is Bordeaux an excellent place to explore wine, but also experience oysters, and the dramatic coastline of Arcachon, and the dramatic Dune Pilat, about 1 hour drive from the city center. Dune Pilat is the largest sand dune in the whole of Europe, reaching over 300 feet high. The dune provides for sweeping views of the Atlantic Ocean and what appears to be an endless sea of sand. After climbing the sand dunes and exploring the coastline, your clients will love stopping at La Cabane 301 restaurant and oyster bar. La Cabane 301 is nestled in a charming port and is a place to relax and taste oysters, seafood, and wine. Your host will demonstrate how to shuck an oyster and explain the many fascinating aspects of the oyster industry on the coast of France. About 3 hours south of Bordeaux is the remarkable village of Sarlat. As if time has passed it by, your clients will feel as if they have been transported back to 14th century France. Exploring the old part of town is an understatement. this village will evoke visions of a fairy tale book and period movies. Narrow alleyways act as streets. Small village markets sell their produce, and centuries-old homes and shops sit snug together. A tiny spring and place of worship rests just outside the main square. At the center of town is the striking Cathedral of Saint Cerdos. The town of Surlat is known for its foie gras, duck and goose liver. Your clients will have no trouble finding the perfect restaurant to fulfill every gastronomic whim they may have. One of the greatest discoveries of prehistoric history was found in the hills just outside of Surlat, in the village of Montagnac, the Lascaux Caves. In 1940, a group of boys discovered these monumental caves with 17,000-year-old paintings of wild and now extinct megafauna: bears, bison, woolly mammoths, and lions, just to name a few. These caves give your clients an astounding view of life from the Upper Paleolithic era. It is not possible to enter the original caves, as they have been sealed off to all but scientists to preserve them. However, your clients may walk into Lascaux Cave 2, an exact replica of the original caves, that are copied to the minutest detail. Your clients will never know the difference, and a sense of awe will certainly strike them here. Nearby is the Lotho Interpretive Center. There your clients can view live animals that in some respect mimic those found here a millennia ago, such as the bison. A museum on site that brings these discoveries back to life, if not in your imagination, then digitally. This is a fantastic place if your clients have kids. A room is dedicated to the fun of digitally meeting up with massive wildlife that the Cro-Magnon man used to hunt and encounter in these very woods and river plains, such as this baby woolly mammoth. If your clients enjoyed the Lord of the Rings trilogy, they're going to love visiting the epic Rocamadour. It easily seems as if it could have been the very inspiration for the mythic cities, like Minas Tirith from the beloved trilogy. Whether your clients have children who love video games, featuring medieval-style towns and adventures, J.R.R. Tolkien novels, admirers of dramatic architecture, or all the above, Rocamadour will blow them away at the architectural drama created at this fantastic site. Set in a gorge above the tributary of the River Dardon, this small Benedictine township consists of several churches and chapels containing relics worthy of pilgrimages in centuries past. Most famous of all was to set eyes on the Black Madonna and broken sword of Durandal. A tower and chateau sit on the ledge above, with ramparts providing jaw-dropping views of the gorge, and more impressive, straight down into the town center. Following centuries-old stairs down the cliffside brings you to the Basilica of Saint Sauveur and the Chapelle de Notre Dame, where the Black Virgin Mary may be seen. This unique idol was said to be carved by Saint Armadur. Some structures date back to 1479. There are a multitude of chapels to enter, all within feet of each other, some built centuries apart, each with their own unique architecture, features, and history. There are many terraces, courtyards, spiraling towers, halls, arches, and the town below to explore. Across the gorge is Hotel Belvedere, a great stopping point for lunch or dinner, providing an excellent culinary experience. Duck terrine and roast pork with potatoes are among some of the more memorable selections, all served with magnificent views of Rocamadour from the restaurant. Albi is another notable destination in the south of France for your clients. Famous for the Toulouse-Lautrec Museum, the most popular and visited museum in France outside of Paris. Throughout Toulouse-Lautrec's short career, which spanned less than 20 years, he created 737 canvases, 275 watercolors, 363 prints and posters. He excelled at depicting people in their working environments, with the color and movement of the gaudy nightlife present, but the glamour stripped away. His work is admired throughout the world. The Gothic Cathedral St. Cecil of Albi, built in the 13th century in the heart of Cathar country, is the largest brick building in the world. Perched high on a hill above the River Tarn, it looks more like a fortress than a cathedral, and that's no accident. The cathedral was built as a defensive fortress and statement of strength. After the Albiceleste Crusade from 1209 to 1229, a holy war waged by the Catholic Church against the heretical Cathars and the Count of Toulouse. No matter how many cathedrals your clients have been in, they will no doubt have a hard time matching this one. Massive blue frescoes by a team of Italian Renaissance painters climb from floor to ceiling with gilded illustrations. The museum and cathedral are adjacent to a high-end shopping avenue closed to car traffic, and any number of smaller streets, which upon their exploration will reveal the old medieval architecture, making this an amazing stop on your client's itinerary. Toulouse, France is a major metropolitan area on the riverbanks of the Garonne. It is the center of the European aerospace industry and headquarters for Airbus. A city with unique architecture made of pinkish terracotta bricks, which earned it the nickname La Villa Rosa, the Pink City. Towering over the city is the Basilica of Saint Sernin. This awe-inspiring structure will take your client's breath away. It is the largest Romanesque church in Europe. Your clients continuing their journey in Toulouse, winding through the tight streets, will bring them to Jacobin's Church and Cloister, built in the 13th century, and is considered the most beautiful Dominican church of Christian Europe. It measures 80 meters long and 20 meters wide, creating an impressive interior sense of space. The columns are 22 meters high and are considered the highest colonnades of Gothic architecture. The pillars are well known for creating what is considered a palm design on the ceiling. A reliquary is at the center of the basilica. Looking as if it came straight out of an Indiana Jones movie, it is believed to contain the remains of Thomas Aquinas. The Capitol Square and administrative building is at the heart of the city of Toulouse. The grand interior consists of incredible halls, filled with massive murals, ceiling frescoes, and statuary, having all of the qualities of a museum itself. In these huge impressionistic murals, we see the seasons of life depicted, from youth to old age. If your clients are admirers of Impressionism, a tour of this building is a must. Just an hour southwest of Toulouse is the impressive medieval town of Carcassonne, the largest medieval town in Europe with its outer wall still intact. Passing over the drawbridge and moat is again stepping through a time portal to a mythic past. This fortified hilltop has been inhabited at least since 3500 BC, in time by the Celts, Romans, and Goths. Fragments of each period of building are visible from different vantages. The fortified wall consists essentially of a concentric design of two outer walls with 53 towers and barbicans to prevent attack by siege armies. The walls protect this charming little village or keep, filled with shops, confectionaries, and restaurants inside. One of these towers housed the Spanish Inquisition in the 13th century. The Chateau Comtal, the Count's Castle, is a medieval castle within the walled city of Carcassonne. Worthy of hours of exploration, your clients pass through courtyards, chapels, and large stone towers. An informative multimedia experience is on hand explaining the history of the entire site, its original construction, and its rebuild. Walking the ramparts just as sentinels have done in the past gives a multitude of views, internally of the courtyard and keep, or externally of the surrounding modern city. It's as much fun to explore at night as it is during the day, especially after all of the visitors have departed. After the exploration of this magnificent site, your clients can continue the fun and stay at the virtuoso property Hotel La Cite, right in the middle of the walled city, and become a part of its history, nestled within the ramparts of the citadel. And amidst its romantic gardens, the hotel offers a unique fairy tale experience. Beautiful arch-stained windows, warm paneled woods, high-timbered ceilings, secret gardens, and views overlooking the main wall and modern city. Spacious rooms with the medieval touch to the classic interior. Multiple venues will keep your clients well dined and immersed in the local vintages, from the main dining room, the Barbican, the library bar, and wine cellar to name a few. Famous people have resided here from Winston Churchill to Grace Kelly. Next to the hotel is the Basilica, perhaps dark and austere from the outside, yet bright and illuminating on the inside. Construction began in the 12th century on the site of an older church dating back to the 6th century. Tall arched ceilings reveal detailed stained glass windows. Hotel de la Cite is the perfect place to continue exploring other historic castles in the area. visit wineries, and continue the culinary experience in southern France. When traveling in the south of France, your clients may find it easier to fly home from Barcelona, Spain, than heading back to any other airport within France. This is a great opportunity to explore the sights along the way. One highly priced stop in Spain would be the Salvador Dali Museum in Figueres, Spain. The museum now includes buildings and courtyards adjacent to the old theater building, showing many aspects of Dali's art. The museum displays the single largest and diverse collection of works by Salvador Dali, the core of which was from the artist's personal collection. The surrounding streets and alleys leading to the museum also display impressive works by the artist. Finding a cafe or a deli for a quick bite or souvenir shop is very easy. However, when in Spain, one simply cannot leave without sampling world-renowned paella. Why not have your clients visit one of Salvador Dali's favorite restaurants? And arguably the best paella in all of Spain is served right here at the Duran restaurant. Scrumptious mussels, fish, and shrimp are sautéed in a rich saffron rice. This will be a culinary experience to remember. Pictures of Salvador Dali enjoying the paella here are on the wall. Barcelona is a world-class destination, and your clients no doubt may spend any amount of time here exploring this famous city, including the current and ongoing construction of Sagrada Familia, and the current ongoing restoration of the little-known Hospital San Paul, filled with much history and noteworthy architecture. No matter what your clients choose to see and experience, they will want to stay in the W Barcelona, situated on the biggest beach in the city. The W Barcelona has an ultra-modern design that permeates your client's room, gym, spa, and dining experiences. Suites with decks that are soaring over the city and the Mediterranean. Eclipse the Club is the most sought-after and chic evening venue in the city and is found on the 26th floor. The international airport is just minutes away by taxi. Let's take a look at a map of France and point out the locations we visited today and drive times between them. Our journey began in Bordeaux, about a 3-hour train ride from Paris. Saint-Emilion is about a 49-minute drive from Bordeaux. Arcachon and Dune-du-Pilat is also about a 1-hour drive from Bordeaux. Leaving Bordeaux for Montignac and the Lascaux Caves is about 2 hours by car. From Montignac to Sarlat is only 25 minutes. Sarlat to Rocamadour is a 1-hour drive. Rocamadour to Albi is about 2 hours by car. Albi to Toulouse is 1 hour. Toulouse to Carcassonne is also 1 hour. Carcassonne to Figueres, Spain, about 1 hour and 40 minutes. Figueres, Spain to Barcelona, also 1 hour and 40 minutes. Barcelona's international airport is over 1 hour less in drive time than the option of driving to Nice, France. Whether customizing a trip for 5 to 10 family members or planning a city break for dozens of people, you can rely on TravelBound. They have made easy to put together programs at the best price possible. Thanks to decades of experience in arranging group tours and FIT travel worldwide, TravelBound will anticipate every need. With services in 150 countries and 25 offices worldwide, from the very beginning, TravelBound takes the time to understand your business and the individual tastes and preferences of your clientele.